Welcome back, everybody. I'm Aaron.
And I'm Aaron.
Thanks for tuning into our show, CryptoCosm, where I talk about the astrological forecasts.
And I bring you your daily crypto news.
Aaron, what's blockchain?
What's blockchain?
What is blockchain?
Well, you know, that's a good question because there's really a lot of people out there that just don't know. I absolutely agree with you. So let's start off there. What is blockchain? Blockchain, when you break it all down, is a transaction database. Now,
Transaction database.
yeah, we're going to take this slowly. Transaction database. So let me go one step lower. You walk into McDonald's.
Never.
Okay, you walk into
Okay, all right, we walk into McDonald's. who's accepting Bitcoin
We'll do some Starbucks.
in 2018. Okay.
and the lady at the cash register takes your order.
Yeah.
And you get your grande mocha latte with sprinkles,
Exactly what I
whatever
get.
it is.
Pumpkin spice lattes.
That's right. There we go. Now we're on
Orange
the right
mocha
tracks.
frappuccinos.
So she puts that into the computer.
All right.
And it records it right. You pay what, $14 for that coffee? Is that what- is that
$14
what it is?
coffee. It's
going
the
rate
lowest
is?
on sale from 1999.
So she logs that transaction, and you pay with your credit card or your Starbucks card,
sure.
however you go about that. And then that transaction is recorded in their computer system.
So it's recorded not only at my bank, but it's recorded in Starbucks?
That's right.
Or
So your
whomever?
bank has a ledger as well. So
Okay.
your bank is recording in their system. Starbucks is recording in their system. And there's these two different transaction databases happening. So they're
right.
recording all the purchases. They can manage their money, et cetera, figure out this goes here, that goes there, and they have an account of where everything is.
Okay.
So that's a transaction database. Now what blockchain does is a blockchain disperses it from just having it in one place, like in Starbucks.
Okay.
Now, just keep in mind, Starbucks and banks are two separate ones. So let's take Bitcoin's database. Bitcoin's database is recorded in many different places.
Okay.
So anybody that's a miner has a copy of the transactions.
Miner meaning someone mining Bitcoins, not someone who's
Somebody-
under 18. Just to clarify, we're really,
Thank you very much.
yeah.
A Bitcoin miner, yes. So they all have copies of this database.
Okay.
So they have records of all of the transactions that are going on.
And how many miners, how many coin miners does it go through? Does that verification process go through?
Thousands.
Thousands.
Thousands. It's not just stored in one place anymore. There's copies of this transaction database all over the place, and they're the same.
Now, does that mean those thousands of people have my credit card information?
No, absolutely not.
That's good.
So the idea of blockchain is once each block is meant to hold an amount of transactions.
Okay.
And right now, blockchain has a very small block size, so they could fit a low finite number of transactions in this block. And all of these different miners, if you will, record that transaction and use an algorithm to encrypt it and secure it within this block. So it
Okay.
takes it and encodes it, and it takes this block and it puts it on this chain of all of these other blocks.
I'm following you.
Okay, fantastic. So what happens is once it does that and it's put on the blocks, on the blockchain, this blockchain basically sends out a message to all the other the copies of the database that says, hey, this transaction or this block of transactions has just happened.
Okay. So it's like a notarizing.
That's absolutely right.
Notarized.
So once it's on the blockchain, now some might think, well, okay, well, there's a copy of the information over here. There's a copy of information over here. There's hundreds of them, thousands of them.
Like how many receipts do I have? You know, I mean, the restaurant has one. I've got a copy. The bank's got a copy, and I file mine away for tax purposes.
Doesn't this pose an issue?
Yeah.
Well, the blockchain is set up to communicate to all of these different, they call them nodes,
Okay.
in places where the transactions are held.
Okay.
So for Bitcoin, the current size of the actual database is just over 1 terabyte.
That's actually not that much information.
It's not that much information, but that's over the course of 10 years, and it's grown exponentially.
Okay.
You know, if we use this for 20, 30 years, who knows how big this actual blockchain could be. And there's making advancements in other areas to kind of address the spacing issue and things like that. But right now, it's not really a huge concern. Once it's verified and actually put on the blockchain, it's communicated out to the rest of them.
Okay.
And if something has been tampered with, let's say somebody tries to hack the blockchain, God forbid.
Or my account.
Or your account. We'll get to that in a moment.
All right.
So far, nobody's had that success. So once it's communicated out, it's verified, it's secured, it's put on the blockchain. And now we have a whole party of individuals that say, our word is gold. Okay?
Our word is gold. It's been
gold.
notarized.
That's right.
This transaction happened.
So if, let's just say a hacker came along and tried to start attacking this node over here and started trying to get through that blockchain.
All right.
All the other nodes are basically, they're almost like cells in the human body.
Okay.
Right? So if an invader comes in and tampers with something and is changing something that's not supposed to be changed, all of the other nodes are going to say, you don't match up to us anymore.
So it's like sending the red blood cells to go fight off the bacteria?
Not only that, it just gets rid of it. It's been tampered with. That's no longer valid, but that's why it's very purposeful to have all of these other nodes hold the information.
So this one, it says, okay, our infrastructure has been sure.
It's under siege.
Right, there it is. So then they say, okay, shut her down. So it's like they quarantine this block.
Absolutely.
This one block.
And it's rejected from the blockchain.
Okay, so then it exists here, 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 to here. So even though this one was jeopardized, the fact that it exists everywhere else means that this is verifying that this is this, and that this one that was tampered with it's moot.
That's exactly
I
right.
like that.
Just for the block, not the
Just
whole
for the
chain.
block,
Just
right?
for the
Just
block.
for the block.
So I mean, really, it's not that they had to make something unhackable, because obviously everything that's created by man can probably have another smarter, better, faster person come along someday and hack it.
That's why we hire the fastest, smartest hackers to create this stuff.
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah.
Well, nobody knows who Satoshi Nakamoto is, but
Kind of cool and kind of
there's rumors.
weird.
But anywho,
Mysteriously, he's like Banksy's. he's making crypto coins and art everywhere he goes. All right. All right.
So, so yeah, it just gets rejected, and they follow along with all the other nodes. And it's not that they have to make a system unhackable.
Okay.
They have to just make it to where it's not worth the hassle of hacking.
Okay.
So let's just say if you go to rob a bank. I'll be your getaway driver. I'm not doing any of the dirty work. But you go to hack a bank, and you're going to get $1 million out of robbing this bank, right? But it's going to cost you, I don't know, $1.5 million. Well, that
lawyer fees,
bail money, I mean, you name it. So it's just a matter of strengthening the security to the point where it's not worth hacking anymore.
Okay.
Because the people, the resources, the machines.
It's like a great heist movie, and it's the impossible. You know, this vault, once you drill into this part, there's a little piece of glass, and if you break that glass, then it fills up with C4. It explodes in your face.
Sweet.
So kind of like that, but without the C4.
Yeah, it's not as cool as that.
So it's just it's made it on such a ridiculously secure system. If I'm breaking this down to understanding this for myself, this system is so secure that it's so complex and complicated to try to hack it that even if they were successful, the amount of this one's done, but it's just like, okay, well, all you've done is grabbed the first rung of the monkey bars. If you want to get to the top where there's actually a treat, or you hit the bell and you win the prize, whatever it may be, you're saying that to grab the next rung and the rung after that is just almost impossible?
That's right. And actually to successfully hack the blockchain, you have to hack the first block all the way to the end, or the beginning of time.
Okay. So it's not like vampires where if you just get the main vampire, then all of them die?
It doesn't happen like that.
That's good to know.
So, I mean, there's really a lot of logic put in place and a lot of thought process in terms of what makes it so secure.
Secure is good. That makes me very happy. As identity theft is a huge thing, as internet hackers is a huge thing. Your phone can get hacked into, your computer can get hacked too. I have heard buzz on the streets okay, through the interwebs that some accounts, specifically someone I just read about Binance, had their account hacked. Now, is that, I mean, we're talking, now that's not the blockchain, we're talking about an account.
That's right.
How does that work?
So Binance, being an exchange, and one of my personal favorites and easy to use,
Absolutely.
is set up in such a way where there's two keys. Let me back up a second. In a regular wallet, where let's just say you would store your actual money in your back pocket, in a regular wallet, you have a public key and a private key.
Okay.
Okay. The public key is almost like an email address.
Okay.
Okay. The private key is like your password to your email account.
Okay.
So there's a big distinction. You could throw your email address on there. You could stick it on a billboard, and it doesn't matter. You're not
Doesn't matter. As long as you don't have a password,
Right.
then you can't see.
Your private
My
key
accounts.
is going to be your password.
Okay.
Now, when you talk about things like, and when you have a regular wallet, you have both of those secured on your computer or on your mobile app. Or now, when you use something like an exchange, the exchange has control of your private and public key.
Okay.
So it's just like a regular central bank where the bank owns your money and you do not. You have to ask the bank permission to use your money.
And how much you can withdraw. That's a whole other
That's another
story.
story.
Yeah.
So when you're working with an actual exchange, the exchange holds your private keys.
That makes
So
sense.
when a hacker comes in and hacks, let's say, Binance,
Sure.
or Mt. Gox, or however many other exchanges have been hacked throughout the course of history here, they go after and are able to extract the private keys. Once they have the private keys, they can access your information on the blockchain.
Now, what about like my Google Authenticator? You know, how they. Now, is that someone who doesn't have a Google Authenticator? Is that, or you know, there's levels of security?
Yeah, well, that's because there's levels of software also.
Right.
So let's on the base you have your public and your private keys,
Okay.
right? And that's stored by Binance.
Okay.
Now, in order to get into Binance, it's a great idea, and we definitely recommend everybody use two-factor authentication. And using Google's Authenticator app is one of the best and most secure ways of doing that now and in the future. But the two-factor authentication is really only meant to get access to Binance.
Okay.
Now, if somebody has the layer underneath, which is your private key, they can bypass Binance altogether. Because everything is stored on the blockchain.
So what are ways that we can be safe, more safe? What are the safer ways to go about this? I mean, it sounds, I understand the blockchain, and when you break it down like that, it does seem like a very secure and stable way to hold information. So what are ways that we can do to protect ourselves from our Coinbase account or Binance or whichever coin market exchange you're using? What?
Absolutely. So you definitely want to make sure you have, first and foremost, a secure wallet. Whether that's a software wallet, and that's probably most people's choice. If you got the big heavy hitters, they've probably invested in a hardware wallet, which kind of looks like a little USB stick. You can get like a Ledger Nano S, Ledger Nano S, or a Treasure. And this is an additional piece of hardware. So this piece of hardware, you can hook it up to your computer via USB, but your private keys never leave the device. So it never touches online. It can never be hacked. I mean, of course, you could lose it, but there's backup phrases that you can use to restore it on another device if you were to lose it or step on it or drive it over with your car, what have you. However you're feeling at the moment.
Dog eats everything.
Some people may have done that over the past week. Who knows? But hardware wallet, we definitely recommend, is one of the best and safest ways to just remove your private keys off of your computer entirely.
Yeah,
that's the number one safest way. The second safest, I would definitely say, is having a software wallet. So a software wallet is like an application on your PC that stores the private and public keys on the software itself.
Okay.
Getting less secure now, we have our coins in Coinbase or in Binance on these market exchanges where they have control of your private keys. So the weakest link there is I mean, somebody can. That's why they're the biggest targets now. Is hackers come out and they come in and they hack Binance and they just come in and they just swoop in and take as many keys as they can.
So now, what? All right, hardware wallets, software wallets. Okay, now let's just say I just put $10,000 into Tron. I didn't. Okay, I did not. I'm just saying, what if I did? When it just dropped back down to 5 cents yesterday or whatever it was, 2 days ago, 5 cents, for Tron. And I'm like, okay, I'm gonna put 10,000 in there and I wanna let it grow. So do I transfer it? If I transfer it onto the hardware wallet, does that mean I'm pulling it out of the Binance Tron account?
That's right. So really, if you're going through and you're making trades on, say, Binance or Coinbase, or exchanging your fiat cash for coin, or trading coin for coin on any exchange, you really only want to leave your coins on there long enough for what you need to do.
Okay.
After that, you want to be able to pull them off and store them in a hardware wallet. And things like Tron and Cardano and a lot of these coins that are out there, the only form of wallet they have is proprietary. So
now, if I say my $10,000 that I don't have that I spent on Tron at 5 cents was a great investment. So what happens when I pull that off onto my hardware wallet and Tron hits 30 cents again? Does that mean when I pull it onto this wallet, am I stuck at the 5 cents that I paid for those coins? Or do these coins on the hardware wallet increase with the value that's just like on the Binance?
It's a good question, especially for those that are just new to this field in general. No, your coins will increase in value no matter where they are, whether they're on a wallet, whether they're on an exchange, whether somebody hacks them and steals them from you. If it goes up to 30 cents, they're just going to be a lot happier, and you're going to be a lot more sad than if it was just 5 cents. So the value is dynamic, and it's going to increase no matter what your storage points are. But you definitely want to make your decision ahead of time, and if you're moving it back to an exchange or to a hardware wallet, you kind of want to have an idea and not keep flip-flopping back and forth. Well, I'm putting it on the exchange. I'm going to put it on my wallet. And I'm going to bring it back to the exchange. Because a lot of these exchanges, you incur fees. And you incur your fees with your withdrawals.
Right.
You incur fees with your trades, even though it's 0.05% on most of these. Some of them, I think it's 0.1%. But every place is going to, get their hands in the cookie jar. So you want to have an idea of what trades you're going to make. How long are you storing these coins for? Are you looking for a, 2 times gain, 5 times gain, 10 times gain? Kind of have a plan on what you're doing with your coins and have that goal. Once you meet that goal, then go through and execute your decisions based on that goal, clear and concisely. You want to avoid the fees, avoid transferring back and forth, because all of these little things are just going to
get in the pool or get out. Because every time you dry off, your towel is just getting more wet.
Absolutely. So, and I think I've probably spent a few hundred, maybe close to $1,000, probably just on trading
just in transaction fees.
In learning a lot of these exchanges, sending test transactions, sending, just to make sure that's another thing if you want to talk about being safe. One of my personal habits that I have developed over the years, or over the last year, is whenever I purchase a new coin, or I use a new wallet, or I use a new exchange, this, for me, does cost a little bit more money. I'll pay an extra fee, but I'm going to send a test transaction to that wallet or to that exchange to make sure my money is going where I say it's going.
I'll spend $10 in this transaction and an extra $2 in the fee. The $10 makes it over there. Okay, sweet. If the $10 never makes it over there, well, then I must have messed up somewhere when I first learned this and Aaron was helping me understand the cryptocurrency and whatnot, the cryptocurrency, the ins and outs of it, right? So when I was making my first purchases and trades, one thing we talked about too is about being hacked, is about copying your address and pasting it somewhere else that you can see so that you can verify, okay, yes, this is the number, this is the codes here, this is my mail address for it, this is where it's going, and I'm verifying in a notepad or a Word doc or whatever it is that this is in fact the beginning, the middle, the end, all lines up so that there's peace of mind and my gut's not just flip-flopping for an hour or whatever it is I'm waiting for that transaction to make it
Absolutely. Over. And you want to do that every time. You want to make sure, even if you just sent your test transaction and you're going back to send the rest of your coins into that.
Don't be hasty.
Check your addresses every single time. If it's a new wallet, you'd be surprised. Things like Jaxx, they have switched addresses on me after I sent my test transaction, and 20 seconds later, I go to send the rest of the coins over, and I went back and almost had a heart attack.
I think you called me. He did.
I did. I probably called everybody in my entire phone book freaking out. But you really want to make sure, take the extra 2 seconds, check that address. I personally check it 3 times. I know it's absolutely redundant, but when you're moving large amounts of coins,
he also turns the light switches on 3 times when he walks in. He spins around, closes and opens the door. That's just his thing.
That's okay,
but either way,
I still have my coins.
So blockchain, it is safe. There's a lot of ways to be safe in it while using it. You know, the rumors, the buzz, yes, the horror stories can happen. They do exist, but have a little peace. It's okay. This is a secure and stable market. This stuff isn't going anywhere. It's not going to disappear overnight. And if you're doing your research, if you buy the hardware wallets, the software wallets, you're going to be all right.
Definitely want to take your time, and it really makes you aware when you have control of your own money. Because one false move and you can send however much money you're sending into the black hole. You send Litecoin to a Bitcoin
and
address,
they can't even use it out there.
It's gone.
You know, it's going
never
to
be
no
seen
one
again. So these are all just tiny little things, tiny little tips to really make sure that your money's going to be safe and it's going to show up on the other end.
And if you have any questions for us at all, email us at CryptoCosm at CryptoCosm.show. Sorry, this is a new address. We just got this. Us at CryptoCosm.show.
We want to hear your questions. We want to be able to answer your questions. We want to give you relevant information all the time. Please don't feel...
Fire away.
Absolutely.
Check us out. We have Instagram. We have Facebook. We've got the Twitter. We're getting this stuff going for you. We're going to be, beyond the shows itself, we're going to be going on the social media constantly giving you guys updates.
Absolutely.
So, check it out. We're going to keep you posted. I was going to say keep us posted. Keep us posted. We're going to tune in, all right?
Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe.
Don't forget to hit that bell as well so you can stay tuned and get all the little notifications we get in, like today's True Wisdom card of the day.
It's your turn to pick.
All right, here we go. I'm going to go with this one right here. We have, okay, this is by Buddha. Thousands of candles can be lighted from a single candle, and the life of the candle will not be shortened. Happiness never decreases by being shared. I like that. Happiness never decreases by being shared. So share your Bitcoins, send them to our address, share them with us, because look how happy we are when you do. I'm just kidding. Thank you so very much for tuning in. We'll see you tomorrow.
CryptoCosm.
Woo!